And welcome back to Keeping Up with the Johnsons, number, I think it's Cinco. It's a Cinco.
5.
We are coming to you again from inside our living room / cockpit / family room.
Living room.
/ office. Right. We could keep going, but we'll stop there.
So Ricky and Lucy are up on the front part of the dash, so you'll likely see them join us from time to time.
Actually, I have one of them down here licking my feet, so she'll be up there eventually.
Yeah, so we wanted to check in with you. We let you guys know during our last episode that we'll be doing these every 2 weeks, so you're keeping up with that.
And the purpose of doing this every couple of weeks is, one, to share where we are and what we've got going on, and then the second is just for you to have an opportunity to get to know us a little better, because we haven't done this as much as we would like to, so hopefully it helps.
Yeah, so our last video we talked about some of the things we were going to do. FMCA convention, which is canceled. We were going to go down to Mexico and spend a couple of weeks down in Rocky Point, and then we were going to go to a little town outside of Yuma, right across the border, to get some prescriptions and teeth cleanings. Yes,
do a little dental work.
$30 for cleaning and all that stuff. So
yeah,
anyway.
it was a great deal. Unfortunately, they closed the border. Well, they didn't close the border. They closed it to all non-essential travel. So, like many of you, your plans have probably changed once, twice, maybe 3 times right now. I think we're all living in that world. And as Brian mentioned, all of our plans have changed. We were in a Thousand Trails RV park. That was Araby Acres in Yuma, Arizona. Great RV park, by the way. I didn't do a review on this one. I don't know, I just thought it had already been done so often that I would just skip it. But it was a great park. If you haven't been, it's really nice. And as of yesterday, when we left, there were several spaces available. So, yeah.
There were only several RVers left in the park.
Right.
Apart from the people that are either there full-time or who aren't Canadians who had to leave to get back to Canada. I think all the Canadians left, and there were, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 people left in the park total. So
it really, there was a mass exodus all of a sudden, and it just cleared out. So.
Well, and everything was closed, all the amenities, so we couldn't use anything. Pools, spas, bathrooms, tennis, everything. So
yeah, I think they did that across the board for all Thousand Trails parks, my understanding. We were able to use the laundry room. That stayed open. We are now boondocking. We are back for our 3rd time back in Quartzsite because we just love this area so much.
Yeah, and we're kind of looking out this way. Our whole rig on this side has windows, and then quite a few windows on the other side too. So our view is kind of out of the desert no matter where we look, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Funny story, when we arrived here, we had a little visitor, and it was a very close call for both Brian and I, because you could have stepped very near it. And I was walking towards it when you shouted out that, hey, there's a
big old snake.
That's not true. Well, it was about 3 feet long. Yeah.
It was a big old son of a bitch.
It was. And it was a rattlesnake, so it wasn't just your garden variety garter snake.
A western diamondback, to be exact, 3 feet long. So there's a little bit of it right there. I think of all the years we've lived in Arizona and been out in the desert,
we've seen other wildlife.
Yeah, we've seen tarantulas, Gila monsters, I think, tons of scorpions.
That's right.
But first rattlesnake, I think, for both of us.
Yep. That's for sure. And I'm actually a native of Arizona, and I have never seen a rattlesnake in the wild until we arrived here.
It was a little startling.
It was, yeah.
It seemed pretty slow. It was crawling in a straight line. It wasn't like it was, you know, sidewinding or all curled up. It was, as you can see, it was in a straight line going back to its nest, I suppose. Out in the middle of the day like that, just, I think is kind of rare to see a rattlesnake just crawling across open.
Oh, gravel-ish type.
Anyway, it was weird, but it kind of made its way into the bush, and
that's where it stayed. Yeah. We kind of jockeyed our rig a little bit, just knowing that there's rattlesnakes out there. So hopefully there's no more encounters.
That was a really nice mesquite tree right up there. We wanted to kind of butt up against that mesquite tree for some shade during the afternoon, but
yeah,
that's right near the bush where the rattlesnake crawled into. So where there's one, there has to be others.
That's what I'm thinking. Although my understanding is they come out this time of the year for mating. But who knows? He could have been holed up in there with a whole family of rattlesnakes and yikes.
And rattlesnakes, they usually come out in the morning, and so they're active in the morning and in the midday. Evening, most of the time, they hibernate overnight until the summer months where the temps are up higher, and they'll come out at night and hunt as well. So
yeah. I don't worry so much about us as I do the dogs. And the last time we were here, they loved being able to just kind of roam free within a certain distance and do their own thing. And now, no way. We have them on a very tight leash and close to us. So you just never know.
No can do.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, we are currently in Quartzsite, Arizona, boondocking for about a week. The temperatures are actually going to start to rise here. So I think it's in the mid 70s right now. It's going to jump up to 80s, and then it's going to get very close to 90, and I think we're going to hightail it out of the desert before it gets that hot.
Yeah, during the day at 90 or at 85, 90 degrees out here. Inside the rig is another 15 degrees probably. I mean, there will probably be a breeze blowing through, but yeah, just don't want to have to run the AC, so we're going to head up to higher territory.
And we're thinking, we're not quite sure, 100% sure where we're going to land, but we were thinking maybe Prescott for some BLM National Forest type camping up there. That would be really nice, because now we're talking pine trees, and we haven't seen pine trees since North Carolina. No, it was Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Jacksonville? No, Tallahassee.
Somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
that's right. So we haven't seen pine trees in a while. It'd be really nice to see pine trees.
It was Corshin State Park. They had pine trees or some kinds of trees that look like pine trees. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. And then after that, we go back into another Thousand Trails Park in Mesa, and we'll hang out there for a couple of weeks. We have some family birthdays coming up, and just a great time to check in again with our family. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be our youngest son's 30.
Oh, it is.
30.
What
30.
happened? Where did all that time go?
The big 30.
Gosh.
Yeah, we still look 40-ish.
Yeah. No, we say 29 and holding. Yeah. And speaking of kids, we have our little fur kids down here at our feet, and we realize that we haven't really introduced them to you.
Not
I mean,
really.
They've appeared by accident in different videos, but we've never really introduced them. So pardon our bend down there. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Look at that. You guys are stars now.
These are our Frenchies. This is Lucy. She's 4. And Ricky, she's a little over 2.
I'm just 2 years old.
Ricky Lucy, get it? Right.
This was Brian's idea. I think it's really cute.
Our next 2 are going to be a couple boys, and we're going to name them Beef and Cheddar.
Oh, can you imagine having 4 in here?
We'd like to have another one, but no, not in this space.
Yeah, that's one thing about Frenchies. They are very addictive, and once you have one, you have to have another one, and so on and so forth. Actually, there's a family out there, and I've kind of lost contact with them. They're an Arving family. They have 6 Frenchies in their rig. And I've reached out in the past just to ask them, how in the world do you handle that, especially when it's raining and these guys have to go potty? 2 are interesting. I can't even imagine having 6, but
and it's the weirdest thing. Every time we take the dogs out, pretty much the same time, the number of times each day, so 4 or 5 times a day, something like that. Each and every time, it's like the Keystone Cops in here, just running around trying to wrangle these dogs. And Ricky, she is horrible. She thinks it's a game, so she's hopping and skipping all over the place and running to the back of the rig in the front and hiding under the chair. And
do you do that?
So she makes a game of it every single time.
You do that.
Without fail. Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are super, super fun.
Yeah.
What is the saying about Frenchies? They are something in a coat?
Yeah, something about a philosopher cloaked in, or a philosopher in the cloak of a clown in the cloak of a philosopher.
There we go. Yeah.
A clown in the cloak of a philosopher. See, sitting right here, I mean, you're saying to yourselves,
they look really mellow.
They're pontificating. I mean, they are like really hard at, you know, solving the world's problems. Mm-hmm. But the second you let them down on the floor and they start interacting with each other or some other dog, they're like,
oh, yeah.
They get spun up. Right?
Well, especially this one. Lucy's a little more docile, as you can see.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
And this one is much more hyper. This one, why do I keep calling her this one? Ricky loves people. So when we go to a dog park, Lucy is running after the dogs, wanting to play, chasing them, and she's jumping on the people. Yeah. They're silly girls.
So we have to reassure people they're okay as they're bolting, because especially Lucy, she'll get in, she'll see the other dog, and she'll just, I mean, no matter how far away they are, boom, she bolts.
Yeah, she does.
So we're like yelling, she'll be okay.
Yeah, you can be a little intimidating there, Lucy, when you do that. Oh, look, somebody's getting ready to take a nap. Anyhow, we want to introduce our dogs to you. These are Frenchies. They're not pugs. They get mistaken for pugs quite often, and we don't like that, do we? But, yeah. They're a big part of our family, and they make our travels fun. They definitely do. All right, bye, guys. What else do we have on the agenda?
Oh, engine updates.
Oh, I'm going to let you take that.
Yeah, the engine has been in, the rebuilt engine has been in for about just a little bit under, the dogs are right around the camera, so I'm expecting it to hit.
I'll watch them.
But we've got just under 1,000 miles, about 10,080. So we did tow for the first time the other day from Yuma.
Yes, that was exciting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Being back in the cockpit was fun.
Yeah, so anybody who tows a vehicle, you know, you can feel it back there sometimes, but the coach seemed to pull just fine, no problem. Kept nice 60, 65 miles an hour the whole way. Mm-hmm. We're good, so yeah.
Yeah, so fun to be back.
Yeah, no leaks, nothing dripping on the engine. So far so good.
Just a heads up that I just recently put out a blog post on our experience staying at kind of like a timeshare type park, but this is a membership park, and the cost of admission is 90 minutes of your time so that they can do like a park presentation. They called it a resort tour, and we decided to take part in this. We got 4 free nights. Beautiful, beautiful RV park, but our experience wasn't as we would have expected. Yeah. A lot of room for improvement in this particular membership group, in their sales and marketing department, I should say, be more specific. But check that out, and we'd love to hear your experience if you have ever stayed at one of these types of parks where you go through a 90-minute presentation. How did it go for you? We'd love to hear.
Yeah. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Yes. I think that gives a good overview of where we are right now, where we're headed, what's going on with us. When we started the video, we did mention that we are doing well. Our families are doing well. And thank you so much. We had some channels reach out to us and ask how we were doing just out of the blue. I think that is so sweet. Thank you. Everyone here is doing well. Knock on wood. We're practicing social distancing like we're supposed to. I mean, we can't get any more distant out here in the boondocks. There's no one around us. But
closest neighbor's about, I don't know, 300 yards or so. Yeah. Which is nice.
Yeah. So we're staying out and doing our part, and both of us are feeling well. Toilet paper update. We are down to 1 roll. We haven't yet broken into our package of 1,200 napkins, but I do see that on the horizon if we don't start seeing toilet paper in the grocery store. Yeah.
And speaking of that, where'd that roll go?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where it ran off to.
Hang on. Okay, as Shauna just said, we have 1 3/4 rolls of TP. We have 1,200 napkins. That should last us for about 600. And if all of that fails and we run out of those for whatever reason, we do have a second backup.
This is actually thinking outside the box now.
So we're not sponsored by this company, Scott. But these shop towels, any of you guys that use them, you know, they're actually pretty gentle on our manly hands.
Yep.
Just saying.
So we should be set.
Yeah.
By the time they finally start getting toilet paper in the store, we should be set for sure.
Probably doing a bad thing here by saying this. But I walked into I'm not going to name the store, an auto parts store, and they had tons of these. They must, I don't know, be expecting a run on them.
Oh.
But the big boxes, the box of rags, these, and a couple of other kinds, I mean, just all over the place. So, I don't know, maybe it's a thing.
It might be. Actually, there was someone else on Instagram who posted that they started using those towels as well. In fact, I think it was Changing Lanes. It might have been Changing Lanes, yeah.
They are nice and soft.
Yeah.
That is for sure. They're very cottony.
I sure hope we don't have to use them, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to really feel like we're out in the boondocks. We have to start pulling out the paper towels. But anyhow, we digress. So that's where we are.
This is what happens when you self-isolate out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We already have cabin fever, and it hasn't even been 24 hours.
So. We were getting a little cabin fever and a little punchy at the other place, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thanks for joining us again. If you haven't already subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Hit the notification bell so that...
You'll know every time we launch a video.
There you go. All right, guys.
Let us know what you thought. If you have any questions on anything that we talked about in this video, we would be happy to answer them.
Yep. And we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.